Hi, I'm Douglas Hubler. I'm a developer, a software developer. I work on the sipXecs open source project. It's a unified communication system. And what I want to demo today is a product called OpenACD, a open source call center. It works together with FreeSWITCH, a telephony platform. FreeSWITCH is currently embedded in sipXecs. So everything I show today is documented on the SipFoundry wiki. So if you go to wiki.sipfoundry.org and you look up OpenACD, you should find all sorts of information. Here's the landing page. So like I said, everything you'll see here should be documented so you can set up your own system at home. So I have a system I've set up, and so we'll first thing we do, we have a sipXecs system. This is running sipXecs 4.3. I've downloaded OpenACD and installed it in the root directory. You would probably want to run this as a different user, create a user, but for simplicity I am using the root user. I downloaded via Git and installed it. So I'm going to boot this thing up. It runs Erlang shell, puts you in the shell. I have a running system here. So let me log into my system. And what I've done is I set up a dial plan. Actually, first what I've done is I set up a gateway. Set up an unmanaged gateway, and I set the address to my local host name, and set the port to the port that FreeSWITCH runs on this server. So what this will allow me to do to direct calls to the FreeSWITCH through a dial plan. So I've added that gateway, and so now I can actually create dial plans. So I've created this dial plan called OpenACD, which forwards calls to this gateway. I decided to pick a prefix of 3 and then any 2 digits, so that any calls starting with a 3 and ending with 2 digits get routed to FreeSWITCH. And so here's OpenACD running. It starts the admin interface on port 9999. So let me log into that. So this uses a Dojo, a Ajax interface to administer OpenACD. We're looking to integrate, have a higher integration with sipXecs to do a lot of things you're going to see here. So once you install it, you're going to have a default administrator user. Okay. So it comes with an administrator and an agent user. And I've set up very simple setup here. I've added 2 agents and a supervisor. One agent has a English skill. Another agent has a German skill. And I have not even set up any queues or skills. Very basic setup. Actually, let's actually log in an agent here. So there's another interface. This is the admin interface is port 9999. The agent interface is port 5050 by default. And what I've done is created an agent, password, username agent. And what I've done is I'm going to, when I log in, I'm going to tell OpenACD, how to contact me for calls. Now, this is the interface, the web interface login. You can set up a dial plan to log in via DTMF codes, but I'm just going to use the web interface here. So I'm going to direct calls back to my PBX. Okay, so I've logged into the web interface. First thing I'm going to do is going to do a ring test, make sure I got that right. And I didn't. I picked the wrong. Wrong username. Okay, so there's a phone ringing behind me. So I know that FreeSWITCH can call me. But I'm not actually available yet. I've just logged into the system. So from another phone, I am going to actually call the number 300 and be put into a queue. Okay, I'm in the queue. So now I've attached no skills to my agents, and the queue has no skills on it either. So that should be a good match for my agent. Alright, so as soon as I went available, my phone started ringing, and when I answer it, call's connected. Okay, so I've hung up the call. Now it knows that I am in a wrap-up state. Wrap-up state is when you would finish any logging of information that you took on the call. So I'm going to end my wrap-up state, and I am now available to take another call. What I'm going to do is I'm going to log in as a supervisor. And you can see some extra controls that a supervisor sees. So they have permissions to see active calls. So we're going to try to, so our agent here is in a wrap-up, but we are going to alright, so we're going to be offline, logged in offline. We're going to put a call in the queue. And you can see this interface show one call in the queue. Click on the call, you can drill down, find some information about that call. You can even interact with it by sending it to an agent directly, or send it to voicemail. Drill into the queues and to the agents. We show one agent that's released. Let's go available. Let's answer that call. So we see this agent now is in call. Here's the time it's on call. So there's a sophisticated interface for the super admin. The supervisor. Okay. That concludes the call demo. We'll walk through the administration interface. So I pre-set up these agents. You can create a new user. The first tab you hit is the agents. Create a new user. and you can set up groups of users to inherit certain skills. If you put a skill, this is like a group on a profile, you can inherit all those skills, as well as inherit just specific skills. We'll go through the skills later. Security, there's 3 types of users: agents, supervisors, and admins. At least agents and supervisors can take calls. Potentially an admin, I'm not sure. So we have agents, we have profiles, which are groups of agents for skills. We also have release codes. Release codes are the codes that when an agent goes offline, you can set up different reasons why they might go offline for help tracking the agents. Next we have queues. Queues have skills in them as well. So if an agent, if a call goes into a queue, these are the skills it inherits. Skills in the queue need to match up with the skills in the with the agent. All the skills in the agent. Then there's a match. Then that agent can take that call. You can again group agents into groups so that they can inherit the skills and details of that queue. I just have the default group set up here. You can set a weight on the queue for priority queuing. You can also set up recipes. What a recipe is it's an operation that can happen on the calls in the queue. This would be where you would also play a message if the person's been waiting for a certain amount of time. Play a message to them. There's all sorts of recipes. Send a voicemail, announce something, add other recipes. You could play around with that. So that's queues. Skills. Here's where you define all the skills that can be added to a queue and an agent. You actually get a couple of default skills here: English and German. Nothing special about those. You can add as many languages as you want. And these skills are special. You can go through each one, but they essentially add dynamic skills to a call or an agent. Last item is a modules. Modules is a configuration into the system. But here's one that will actually, so OpenACD can actually queue email as well. So you can set up an email server, and the agent user interface changes to a when they get an incoming email, an email client application. The FreeSWITCH one is the one that does voice calls, and I've changed this. There's information on the wiki on how to set that up so that OpenACD can communicate with FreeSWITCH. I think that's it. Thanks for your time. I hope you check out the project. It's pretty exciting. We're going to see lots of great integration with OpenACD with sipXecs in the next version after 4.4.